Now, your primetime local news leader. Fox 22 News at 10.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us. I'm Beth Jones.
And I'm Peter Dubois. First tonight, one person was injured when a car crashed into a cement truck this morning.
It happened at mile marker 174 on Interstate 95 in Newburgh a little after 10:30. 72-year-old Diane Mailhot of Dexter was traveling northbound when she rear-ended a cement truck. Her Chevy Spark became partially trapped under that truck. Mailhot was taken to a local hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. She was the only person in her vehicle. The driver of the cement truck was not injured. That crash still under investigation.
Two people, meanwhile, were injured in a head-on crash on the interstate in Augusta on Saturday. That took place a little before 8:30 p.m. near mile marker 112 southbound. A state police spokesperson says 45-year-old Sarah Lincoln of Winthrop entered the interstate the wrong way and struck a vehicle driven by 18-year-old Julia Cronstrand of Litchfield. Cronstrand was taken to the hospital with serious but non-life-threatening injuries. Lincoln was transported to the hospital with minor injuries. The spokesperson says the preliminary investigation indicates Lincoln is suspected of driving under the influence. The crash remains under investigation.
In other news tonight, the Maine Lobstermen's Association is speaking out on their historic win in a federal appeals court last week, in which a panel of judges unanimously ruled to vacate a lower court ruling. Now, that earlier ruling had sided with the National Marine Fisheries Service, upholding potentially devastating new regulations for the Maine lobster fishery. The new decision came down Friday from the U.S. Court of Appeals for the D.C. Circuit. The judges noted in their decision that the National Marine Fisheries Service had used, quote, worst case scenarios where they lacked the data to substantiate their proposed regulations and cuts to the fishery. Those measures were meant to protect North Atlantic right whales from entanglement in fishing gear. The judges addressed this directly, saying the National Marine Fisheries Service was not allowed to use those assumptions as a basis for the biological opinion.
That was the crux of our appeal, was you just can't use the worst case scenarios because the law says that you have to use what is likely to occur. And worst case scenarios and likely are two totally different things.
Porter says the focus now will be on developing new science surrounding how best to protect the North Atlantic right whale and new ways of gathering the most accurate statistics surrounding entanglements. He says the judge's ruling means NOAA must draft a brand new biological opinion and propose rules for the right whale and lobster fishery.
We're definitely taking a victory lap right now, but there is a lot of work to be done. We need to make sure that National Marine Fisheries Service gets this new biological opinion right. And we need to be with them and holding their feet to the fire all the way.
Porter says he's not sure whether conservation groups who pushed for the new regulations will take further legal action in this particular case. One of them was the Center for Biological Diversity. They were actually part of the MLA lawsuit. Now, we reached out to them for comment, but we did not receive a response.
The governor's office reports in 2022, a total of 716 people died from overdoses in Maine. Now a bill has been signed into law making it mandatory for law enforcement to carry Narcan, an overdose reversal medication, with the hope of lowering the number of deaths in years to come. Devin Dagnalt has more.
On Friday, June 16th, Maine joined the growing number of states requiring law enforcement officers to carry Narcan at all times while on duty when Governor Janet Mills signed LD 1036 into law. But according to Maine State Police Public Information Officer Shannon Moss, most police departments throughout the state have already been carrying Narcan as a precaution.
I won't say we were one of the last to start carrying it, but we certainly weren't the first in the city of Augusta. But what I found as time went on is we were a lot of times the first folks there, and we want all of those things at the immediate disposal for the public and our own officers when it happens.
Despite the growing trend of officers carrying Narcan, Representative Nina Milliken of Blue Hill didn't want to leave the decision to individual departments or officers.
Currently in statute, it's up to the chiefs or the leaders of those departments to determine whether or not their officers should be carrying Narcan, and I didn't want that type of flexibility. I wanted it in law that they had to be carrying it. Obviously, if you had turnover and a new chief came on who didn't think that it was an important thing to do, they might not do it. And I didn't like that idea.
LD 1036 is the first bill Milliken has ever proposed, and she says as somebody who has suffered from substance abuse disorder in the past, it's incredibly exciting to see it become a law.
Well, it feels really personally important, and I think it's a good bill for the whole state. So obviously, or I wouldn't have put it in.
The new law will take full effect on January 1st, 2024. Devin Dagnall, ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
On Tuesday, the Maine Senate is set to vote on LD 1364, an act to prevent opioid overdose deaths by authorizing harm reduction health centers. This bill is among a few others that law enforcement say will decriminalize drugs in the state of Maine. Over the past few months, we have reported on how laws like these have affected states like Oregon, where drug use without penalty is tying the hands of state prosecutors and police who say they've been left to watch without any way to protect citizens. Some law enforcement leaders are sending a message as they face the war on drugs at the State House.
When you take this and you flip the laws that we've been enforcing upside down, and you say, okay, you can enforce them everywhere except for this particular location. That's very, very problematic.
So I think if this legislation does go through, this is going to be the first step and, essentially in a downhill slide. And, we're at risk of, we are at risk of losing this fight. I mean, let's take a common sense look at what's going on around the country and other parts of the world. I think Oregon with decriminalization is a shining example. This is one step away from decriminalization.
LD 1364 passed the House last week with a vote of 77 in favor and 66 against. If made law, the bill authorizes municipalities to approve the operation of harm reduction centers in their communities. It also offers immunity from prosecution for those who use the centers as well as the staff.
Some farmers, meanwhile, have experienced a delay in crop growth due to the recent boost in rainfall. Our AJ Douglas stopped by a local farm to learn how the consistent rain is impacting them.
It's hard to get perfect weather. It's too dry or too wet. We can't do much about that.
Bonner Farm in Belmont is best known for its mixed organic vegetables, selling produce to local restaurants, the Belfast Co-op, and individual customers via its convenient farmers market stand. However, growers in their 14th season say they've encountered some challenges following consistent rainfall and cloudy skies, noting that some rainfall is good for growth, but too much of a good thing can have negative impacts.
When we have a lot of excessive rain, it often means cooler temperatures, less sun, which just means less plant growth overall. It also means we lose a lot of water-soluble plant nutrients, so a lot of nitrogen gets washed out of the soil that the plants need.
We spoke to one of the co-owners with Bonner Farms, who says this entire field is a total loss, costing the growers thousands in profits.
When we have a lot of excess water, it's hard to get it to drain well, and water will sit in the soil longer than usual. So we've definitely had some problems this year, some bad germination, some disease issues.
Bonner talks about hopes to bounce back in the near future.
If we get some sunshine coming on here, that would be great. We'll probably hope to see a lot of stuff sort of pick up the growth rate.
In Belmont, AJ Douglas for ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
And I think that a lot of us were thinking maybe the rain was a good thing, but we're kind of hearing about the other side of that coin where, just too much of it, I guess too much of anything isn't good at that point.
That's definitely a true story there. And, you kind of feel for them because I think growers have had a really hard couple of years.
Yeah, absolutely.
All righty, well, let's go ahead and get a first check of our forecast and see what's coming our way weather-wise.
All right, Beth, thank you. Happy Monday. Your first weather is brought to you by the Ellsworth Flea Market. And okay, let's talk about the temperatures out there today. 68 here in Bangor, 66 Millinocket, 64 Bar Harbor. Hold on. These are not where they're supposed to be. In fact, the average high mid-70s. We're going to do that, though, beginning tomorrow, low 70s, followed by 80s are back in the forecast. We have to get rid of this first. The clouds out there now and the shower activity out there now will linger through tonight into tomorrow, probably mid-afternoon, before it finally gets out of here, and then we are in for several days of sunshine, and 80s are on the way. Our forecast then tonight, though, is cloudy skies, a couple of sprinkles and showers out there with low temperatures in the 50s. Your full forecast is coming up. Beth?
All right, so a wet overnight heading our way,
Yep.
but maybe some sunshine to follow.
Yeah, we'll learn all about that in a little bit.
Indeed. In the meantime, still to come on Fox 22 News at 10, our news team stopped by multiple area Juneteenth celebrations earlier today.
We'll hear from those celebrating and have much more local news as Fox 22 News at 10 comes right back.
Looking to buy or sell a home? The More True team of Better Homes and Gardens works throughout the state of Maine with both buyers and sellers with a focus on the greater Bangor area. Give the ladies of the More True team a call today or visit their Facebook page.
Roto-Rooter has served the greater Bangor area and beyond for 35 years, offering plumbing, hydrojetting, snaking, descaling, video inspection, and grease interceptor cleaning services. For all your residential and commercial clogs, call Roto-Rooter today, 990-1234.
And away go troubles down the drain. Roto-Rooter.
Now is the time to consider taking care of your driveway or parking lot. With more than 25 years experience, Harvey Paving and Seal Coating specializes in asphalt maintenance. A fantastic way to extend the life of your asphalt is by taking care of it, and we will fill in all the cracks and seal coat afterwards. This leaves your driveway with a beautiful finish looking like new. Why not increase the curb appeal of your residential or commercial space? Give us a call today at Harvey Paving and Seal Coating for a free quote, 262-0154. Rowell's Garage has been serving customers in the greater Dover-Foxcroft region since 1946. Our goal is not just selling you a vehicle, but also giving you quality service to maintain your vehicle at peak performance. Browse our inventory online or in person. Whether it's a car, truck, or SUV, we can put you in the vehicle that is right for you. Sales, service, and parts. Rowell's Garage, doing business the right way every day.
Beat Shazam is back with guest host Nick Cannon and DJ Kelly Osbourne.
Please come take this $1 million.
Beat Shazam, Tuesdays on Fox.
Looking to buy or sell a home? The More True team of Better Homes and Gardens works throughout the state of Maine with both buyers and sellers with a focus on the greater Bangor area. Give the ladies of the More True team a call today or visit their Facebook page.
Half-off deals. Save money at foxbangor.com right now. Get the best deals from restaurants, family fun activities, events, and your favorite stores all in one place. Go to foxbangor.com and click on half-off deals and see all the money you could be saving. Half-off deals at foxbangor.com.
Welcome back. Well, today is Juneteenth, and cities across the country were hosting events to mark this day.
The holiday commemorates when the last enslaved people in the United States learned they were free.
Here in Maine, the first annual State of Black Maine Symposium at USM was put on by Maine Community Development. It offered a deeper understanding of Black history in the state of Maine and addressed the experiences of Black communities. Black Maine voices were amplified through a variety of speakers and a panel discussion. One of the goals was to unify differences, inspire, and build solidarity.
There happened to be a mirror on the side of the wall, and I stopped them and I said, "Girls, look." I said, "You see beauty. Tell me, I'm beautiful, I'm special, I'm smart," you know, and then the entire year, this must have been like the beginning, there was one particular student, every time she saw me, she's like, "Miss McKenzie, I'm beautiful, I'm smart," you know, and it's like, gave me so much joy because I was like, I would have loved to have heard that in the school halls when I was growing up.
Well, the event also featured Black-owned businesses and refreshments.
Congress Square Park was host to Portland's Juneteenth celebrations, an event that is also an observation of World Refugee Day. The event scheduled several guest speakers, food vendors, and live music performances, and the Portland Museum of Art offered free admission until 6 o'clock. Organizers say the events show how the fight for equality still resonates today.
I am glad to live in the city that validates who everyone is. We organize events not just for the sake of it. We organize events to celebrate who we are.
This is the third year that Juneteenth has had official federal and state holiday status, and local organizers say events in Maine have grown every year.
The Ellsworth community hosted its own Juneteenth celebration to commemorate the end of slavery. June 19, 1865 marked the day 250,000 African Americans in Texas learned of their freedom 2 years after the Emancipation Proclamation in 1863. In 2021, Juneteenth became a federally recognized holiday, as we mentioned. Today, communities all over the country recognized and celebrated the importance of this day in history.
Solutions that benefit everyone, right? Everyone loves a clean environment. Everyone likes to have affordable housing. Everyone likes to have plenty of jobs and great health care and services and things like that. So it's not just about us. It really is something that is uplifting, and it's great for our community at large.
The event included activities for kids, a black art showcase, and of course, plenty of food.
The city of Brewer carried on its long-standing tradition of recognizing Juneteenth as well. The 17th annual celebration was held at Joshua Chamberlain Freedom Park. Our Doug Banks takes us there.
No more auction block for me. Too many.
The celebration of Juneteenth took place in Brewer on Monday, led by the president and CEO of the Maine Human Rights Coalition, James Varner.
You need to treat everyone you meet the same way you want to be treated, because this thing called birth, we have no choice. You're born to be who you are by chance.
The ceremony also recognized those who have contributed to the Maine Human Rights Coalition. Guest speakers, including Reverend Daniel Russell and Mayor of Brewer, Sue Bond Pantai, spoke about the importance of recognizing the day.
I would encourage the citizens of Brewer and Bangor, or Greater Maine, to speak to their neighbors and not, take all their information from what you see online or in media, because your neighbors here in the state of Maine, it's a different place than sometimes what is shown on television or the internet.
A piece of advice Mr. Varner shared was to treat everyone you meet with love and respect.
It begins with you treating people that you meet and seeing that your children treat other people the same way that they want to be treated.
The ceremony closed with the placing of a wreath on the statue of Harriet Tubman, and a reminder from Mr. Varner to never stop believing that a world with love and understanding among all people will not always be just a dream.
Until I breathe my last breath, until I close these brown eyes forever, I'm going to use every ounce of my energy, my friends, to spread love. And I want you to do the same. Makes you feel so good, and it's so needed.
In Brewer, Doug Banks, ABC 7 and Fox 22.
Such an inspiring message, and we hope one that will motivate people to action, not just today, but every day in their community.
Absolutely. Hearing from Mr. Varner, he really is, he has such a way with words. Yeah. And it just, he just is so to the point, and I love it. His message is amazing.
And yet soft and compassionate, he gets the message across, and it's still just so, inclusive and inviting to speak with.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's great stuff.
Alrighty, folks, well, coming up on the 10 p.m. news on Fox 22, voters and pundits alike are expressing concern about the ages of both President Biden and Donald Trump.
And the CDC reveals the extent of the mental health crisis in American children. We'll have those stories and more as the 10 p.m. news on Fox 22 continues.
Our phones keep us constantly connected.
Please switch to airplane mode.
But what if they helped us actually connect?
What would I give?
Introducing US Mode. Set your phone for human connection at US Cellular.
You were made to act spontaneously. We were made to help plan accordingly.
Detail 207, an average guy with the knowledge and skills to fully detail your vehicle. From cars and trucks to big rigs and motorcycles, we detail it all. If it has wheels and it isn't as clean as you'd like it to be, give me a call and we'll set up an appointment today. 659-2995.
Shine on a dime with your average guys at Detail 207.
Who doesn't love getting a little more? Get more when you play the Maine Lottery. Just buy any Maine Powerball tickets with Power Play and enter them into the Reward Me Club for a chance to win a VIP weekend at Phoenix Raceway and up to $1 million. Now that's more than you bargained for.
Right now at US Cellular, you can get a new phone without having to trade in your old one.
Trade you my PB&J for that phone.
No, kid, you don't have to trade. See? $1,100 off any phone at US Cellular. No trade-in needed.
Boom. Chocolate milk.
I'll take the chocolate milk.
US Cellular, built for us.
There's one number you need to know. It's called Joe.
An urgent search and rescue operation is underway by air and sea to try and find a tourist submersible in a remote area of the North Atlantic. It went missing Sunday off the coast of Newfoundland while exploring the wreck of the Titanic. Fox's Eric Shawn has the latest.
We're doing everything that we can do to locate the submersible.
It is a desperate race against time for the U.S. Coast Guard, coordinating an active search and rescue mission to help find a missing tourist submersible near the wreckage of the Titanic. The sub left for a dive on Sunday morning, losing contact with a research ship on the surface called the Polar Prince after 1 hour and 45 minutes. One pilot and 4 mission specialists are on board.
It is a remote area. And it is a challenge to conduct a search in that remote area.
The sub disappeared in the open ocean at a depth of roughly 13,000 feet, about 900 miles east of Cape Cod. Made of carbon fiber and titanium, about the size of a minivan, the sub is designed to hold 96 hours of air on board.
And so we're using that time, making the best use of every moment of that time to locate the vessel.
A private company called OceanGate operates the sub, charging customers about $250,000 a person to travel and view the site of the Titanic, the iconic ocean liner that sank in 1912. Experts say if a problem did happen underwater, the sub is designed in such a way that it will automatically float to the surface.
Its first problem is probably that it's somewhere attached to a fishing net, some debris. It may have simply gotten caught.
The Coast Guard is using C-130 aircraft and sonar equipment to help search beneath the ocean surface. In New York, Eric Shawn, Fox News.
Republicans and Democrats, meanwhile, are grappling with the age of their leading candidates as others vying for a spot on the ticket hope to offer themselves to voters as the next generation of leaders. Fox's Lauren Blanchard is in Washington with more on the race for the White House.
As more players enter the race for the White House, there is one issue that challengers keep bringing up against the two leading men, their ages. President Biden would be 82 years old by the next inauguration.
I think at a certain point you sort of move over and allow younger generations to take it from there. I'm not young, but I'm not almost 80.
Former President Donald Trump turned 77 years old last week and would be 78 by the next election.
The values that made this country great are still the values we need to hold on to. But the only way that's going to happen is if we have a new generational leader, No more negativity, no more chaos, no more of all the drama that goes with it.
The age debate is at times overshadowing the issues voters say are their top concerns, which according to Quinnipiac University is the economy.
It's going to be really hard to break through the noise and really get to the real issues that are exciting voters on the ground.
The former president is also being critiqued for his legal challenges. He was indicted for his handling of classified documents, which Trump has called a political witch hunt.
I want to go through the boxes and get all my personal things out. I don't want to hand that over to NARA yet. And I was very busy, as you've sort of seen.
Both Biden and Trump hold commanding leads in their parties, with double-digit advantages over the next closest candidate in their primaries. In Washington, Lauren Blanchard, Fox News.
Well, the CDC has released concerning new data about the number of kids receiving mental health services in America. According to the report, in 2021, nearly 15% of America's children ages 5 to 17 received treatment for mental health conditions. About 8% of those kids took prescription medications for their conditions, while about 12% received counseling or therapy. Data also found adolescents ages 12 to 17 were more likely to be receiving treatment when compared to younger kids ages 5 to 11. A separate CDC report also found depression and anxiety have increased over time. There are now some 5.8 million children suffering from anxiety and approximately 2.7 million suffering from depression. The reports have medical professionals urging parents to stay vigilant about their children's mental health needs.
This Pride Month, vandalized pride flags are becoming a common sight at the Stonewall Monument in New York City. Fox's Ashley Rodriguez has more.
Stephen Menendez picks up broken pride flags from the ground of the Stonewall National Monument. As a park volunteer, it's his job to maintain the 250 flags flying around the park's perimeter. 3 weeks into Pride Month, Sunday morning, he was not expecting to find a fourth of the flags snapped in half.
It's just disappointing to come in and see it again. This is 3 times over 7 days.
When we arrived, police were on scene, but there's little they can do other than to check if neighboring shops have cameras. Park volunteers are relying on the existence of only one camera guarding the front of the park, and they argue the city needs to put up more. That way, if people choose to vandalize the park, they know they're being watched.
We'll always have that reminder that there will continue to be those who don't support LGBTQ rights. It's upsetting, sad, and concerning that we have to see it in one of the heart of where our rights was born and continues to grow.
It's not yet clear if this was the work of the drunk and disorderly or a targeted effort to vandalize a historic gay monument. But park goers observing Menendez replacing the flags argued about how to react.
I feel like as a transgender that this is too much in your face. I want an American flag. This is America. This isn't LGBT country.
The divisiveness among passerbys Sunday, just a small example of the underlying reason behind now a third instance of vandalism at Stonewall Monument.
We have so much anger and hatred in the air right now. We really need to reverse that and replace it with love, compassion, and acceptance.
Even if police can get their hands on video, there's no guarantee that they're going to be able to ID whoever did this.
Well, still to come on Fox 22 News at 10, flip phones are making a comeback. We'll tell you why.
And in sports, Bangor Christian Baseball looks to take home their first state title since 2014. That story coming up.
Issue an alert. Our missing person just became the prime suspect.
Don't miss Alert, Thursdays on Fox. Van Sickle Kia is Northern Maine's first choice for pre-owned vehicles. We have a great selection of quality pre-owned vehicles with payments and prices for every budget. Shop your favorite brands like Kia, Ford, Jeep, Toyota, Honda, Subaru, Volvo, and more, all serviced, state inspected, starting at just $99.99 with payments just $239 a month, only at Van Sickle Kia.
The best cars, the best prices, and the best warranty. I'm Peter Van Sickle. I guarantee you.
Are you considering buying a new home? A home inspection is a major step in the home buying process. Knowing the current condition of your future home is very important. From simple DIY repairs to major issues that could cost thousands down the road. Not only can TJ inspect your property, but he is also a licensed contractor. Give him a call today at 210-5000 for a free inspection quote.
Maine is a one-of-a-kind beautiful state, and there's no better way to see it than from the air. Fletcher Mountain Aviation offers an aerial experience like no other, featuring seaplane flights where you will see the best views in Maine from the air and land on Maine's most beautiful lakes. An experience you will never forget, with views from the northern Maine woods, Moosehead Lake, and Katahdin regions. Come fly and see our beautiful state from the sky with Fletcher Mountain Aviation. Visit our website here or scan the QR code to book your flight today.
Spend an evening with James Taylor and his all-star band. The American icon is back on tour. June 27th at Maine Savings Amphitheater. The multiple Grammy Award-winning James Taylor and a night full of his biggest hits.
Tickets on sale now at waterfrontconcerts.com or ticketmaster.com.
Spend the night with a friend. James Taylor.
ABC 7, Fox 22, Ruth and Wimpy's, and Triple S Tax Shop want to send you to spend an evening with James Taylor and his all-star band live in concert Tuesday, June 27th at the Maine Savings Amphitheater in Bangor. Sign up to win tickets by registering at Ruth and Wimpy's, 792 U.S. Route 1 in Hancock. We're a lobster lover's dream. And Triple S Tax Shop in Carmel. Come see us for quality clothing and equestrian gear. Win tickets to see James Taylor June 27th on the Bangor Water.
What's old is new again. Gen Zers and even some celebs are moving to more old-school flip phones to disconnect. Some big brands are even cashing in and making more vintage-looking phones to get a read on the nostalgia. Fox's Madeline Rivera reports.
Unplugging nowadays seems nearly impossible with the ability to call, text, and browse the internet from the palm of your hand. But as some people call for simpler times, they're flipping back to a former trend and snapping up a flip phone.
My teenagers, definitely. They're definitely getting it. They're getting a simpler phone.
It would actually be really peaceful, so I'd probably love it.
Gen Zers are leading the comeback as stats show more teens are spending less time with each other.
There was this interesting study out of the University of Michigan looking at 50,000 young people and found that about 2/3 of them are avoiding their friends.
And phones, some tech experts say, may be in large part to blame.
Smartphones, they do a lot of things, but they take away a lot of attention. We've seen what it's done with kids. We've seen what it does with adults.
I mean, real conversations don't really happen anymore.
However, others say they're not ready to trade up efficiency for simplicity.
I personally like to have my iPhone. I like having like a miniature laptop in my hand.
Still, not every foldable phone is reminiscent of the 90s or the early 2000s. Some, like Samsung's Galaxy Z flip phones, are smartphones, and they're seeing a boost in sales.
In 2022, it was our best sales year that we've had yet on the flip and fold category.
The market for foldable phones is expected to grow. The International Data Corporation estimates this year's sales could double from last year. In Washington, Madeline Rivera, Fox News.
Well, there is something to be said about the simplicity of flip phones for sure there. Meanwhile, more storms are threatening millions of Americans across the South. It comes as the region continues to deal with scorching temperatures. Fox Weather's Katie Byrne has that story.
It gets 110, 120 degrees sometimes, and it's especially hot out on the road.
Record-breaking heat is smothering much of the South this week. In Texas, forecasters say the heat index could reach 122 degrees at times. State and local officials are urging residents to limit their time outdoors and drink plenty of water.
If you start experiencing muscle cramps when you're outside, if you start profusely sweating, that is a time to get out of the heat into a cooler environment and begin rehydrating as quickly as possible.
Monday morning, some 465,000 customers were battling that heat without power as severe storms continue to pummel the region. Large hail, tornadoes, and gusty winds threatening millions of Americans. In Mississippi, the system snapped tree limbs and spawned a reported tornado in the town of Lewin, killing at least one person and injuring nearly 24 others.
I heard it come through like a god-awful noise.
While in Oklahoma, crews raced to restore power after damaging winds toppled trees and power lines.
We just found out we have a leak in one of the rooms. So there is some roof damage, and of course, can't fix it until we get those tree limbs out the way.
The severe weather also hampering cleanup efforts in Perryton, Texas, days after a tornado tore through the town.
We could see like the actual tornado just right there beside our house. We got the house over, and yeah, we barely beat it in time.
Here in the Northeast, forecasters say to expect rain and thunderstorms later this week. In Philadelphia, Katie Byrne, Fox Weather.
Definitely a lot to consider there, especially with temperatures warming up.
Yeah.
You know, we haven't had the warmest temperatures in our region lately,
Yeah,
but
not even close.
But we will get there eventually, and heat stroke is a real thing to contend with. We have to consider keeping ourselves hydrated.
I mean, we don't often reach triple digits, so I don't think we'll ever have exactly the same perspective as what folks in the South and West see. And certainly, hopefully not the tornadoes. Those are just so frightening, and it's so hard to see footage like that, see people's lives devastated. You just hope that they're going to get the help they need.
Absolutely.
Alrighty, folks. Well, our full 5-day is coming up. We're just hoping for some sunshine.
Yes, that would be great.
All right, and word on that is coming right after this.
High temperatures back up in the 60s today, but hold on if you want some heat. It is on the way. In fact, we're talking about highs in the 80s not too far from now. Those details for you when I come back.
It's Ram season at Quirk Ram in Bangor. Save over $7,800 on the 2022 Ram 1500 Warlock and buy for $39,995. Or save $4,000 on any remaining 2022 Jeep Compass in stock. It's your Ram, it's your Jeep. Find it at Quirk.
Let's face it, getting training and experience is hard, but at Loring Job Corps we can help. From certifications in automotive technology, obtaining your CDL, or learning building trades, we have you covered. Maybe you prefer joining the high-tech world of computer networking or cybersecurity. We have that as well. Don't delay, get in the driver's seat to your future today. And the best part, Loring Job Corps is free. Receive free training, free meals, and even free housing. Call or go to jobcorps.gov/Loring. Job Corps careers begin here.
It's your journey. Own every mile in the Hyundai Tucson with America's best warranty. Lease a Tucson for $249 a month or get 0% APR for 36 months or $750 bonus cash. See your Bangor Hyundai dealer.
This 4th, we're throwing a 4 for the 4th celebration with lots of top-rated 4s to shop. Like 4 Bobapedic mattresses that will knock your bunny slippers off. Get budget-friendly Bobapedic comfort with charm, just $3.99. Enjoy the comfort of my Synergy mattress. Looking for extra support and pressure relief? You'll treasure my treasure and my Lush mattress. Topped with an innovative cooling cover with financing options to fit your budget. You guessed it, 4 plans to choose.
Subaru summer is finally here. Get 3.9% financing for up to 48 months when you purchase select 2023 models. It's your Subaru. Find it at Quirk.
I'm looking for a partner that I can invest $250,000 in. I'm looking for my next food star.
Gordon Ramsay's Food Stars, Wednesdays on Fox.
All right, thank you. Your full weather is brought to you by Key Appliance. Sales and service from major brands including GE, Whirlpool, KitchenAid, Speed Queen, and more. We hold the key to savings. Let's talk about temperatures because these are about to change in a big way. So it's been kind of cool around here for a week or so. We're going to finally bring back some 80-degree temperatures. In fact, mid-80s are in the 5-day forecast. We got to get there first. Not today, of course. Highs near 68 here in Bangor, 66 Millinocket. But tomorrow, up in the low 70s, followed by the return of some 80s. Now, we have to turn the wind first. The wind out of the north today around 5 miles per hour. Not a big deal, but ushering in those cooler temperatures, right? But tomorrow's going to shift more out of the west and then eventually the southwest. That's going to bring us those warmer temperatures on the way. But first, the speed bump, right? Tonight, visibility now is all good. But later on this evening, we're talking about the wind could go calm for several hours and the air is very full of moisture. That could give us some dense fog late tonight. So if you're driving, 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning, morning. Be ready for some areas of dense fog across the region tonight. All right, so today, lots of cloud cover, a couple of sprinkles, a couple of showers. Press repeat. That was our day, right? So what we need to do is get this little area of low pressure out of here, and that's going to happen throughout the day tomorrow. And when that happens, things are going to change in a big way. It's going to feel like summer like this, and all of a sudden we're going to get into this air mass right there, bring back lots of sunshine, and that's going to give us temperatures back in the 80s as soon as Wednesday around here. And when they get here, we'll have probably highs near 80 Thursday, Friday, and Saturday as well. We got to get rid of this system first, though. It's kind of taking its time. Expect clouds tonight, a couple of showers, clouds tomorrow morning through about midday before the whole thing kind of pulls out of here and begin to dry out tomorrow night. Let's walk you through it. So tonight, no issues at all. For tomorrow morning, here's 9 o'clock or so, looking at cloud cover, some fog around, a couple of sprinkles, not a big deal. And then by midday tomorrow, a couple of sprinkles out there, but overall, a clearing trend throughout the afternoon. This finally gets out of here tomorrow night, and then look what happens. Sunshine for Wednesday into Thursday into Friday. It's going to feel like summer around here with high temperatures back up in the 80s. If you want a big rainfall, it's not going to happen. Maybe a 1/10 of an inch of rain between now and, say, Saturday. Overall, kind of a dry stretch of weather kicking in after tomorrow afternoon. Our forecast ends tonight, though, looking at mostly cloudy skies or cloudy skies out there. A couple of sprinkles, a couple of showers out there. Nothing heavy. Look for areas of dense fog after midnight with a calm wind in there as well, and a low temperature near 53. For tomorrow, scattered rain showers primarily before noon. I went with 72 tomorrow. That could be a stretch for a few areas if the clouds hang on for a while with a northwest breeze around 5. And then looking ahead, your 5-day forecast, here it comes, right? Look at Wednesday, a full day of well-deserved sunshine for the first day of summer, too, by the way, on Wednesday, high of 78. And then look, we're firmly in the 80s Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Our next chance for rain after tomorrow morning is going to be Saturday afternoon. Beth?
All right, so there are some sunshine icons on the 5-day.
Yeah.
Yeah, at least 3.
Very fitting that we're kicking off the start of summer, official start of summer, with that stretch of sun. Love that.
Definitely nice to see. All righty, folks. Well, sports is coming up next. Keep it right here.
Behind every keepsake, there's a memory. Behind every photo, there's a story. Behind Bouchard Cleaning and Restoration, there's people giving back by bringing back what was thought to be lost. The details, the time, and the expertise, all packaged up behind a name that Mainers have trusted for over 35 years. Statewide commercial and residential services. Bouchard Cleaning and Restoration. You keep the memories. We'll handle the rest.
We're lucky to live in Maine. We have a wealth of natural resources, hardworking people, and time for the things that matter. Mechanical Services is all about Maine, with energy efficiency that protects our environment and helps businesses grow. Preventive maintenance and energy solutions that save money. How Maine is that? Mechanical Services. We're everywhere you are in Maine.
ABC 7, Fox 22, Healing Hands Massage, and Ruth and Wimpy's want to send you to see Weezer live in concert on their indie rock road trip with special guests Future Islands and Joyce Manor, Friday, June 30th at the Maine Savings Amphitheater in Bangor. Sign up to win tickets by registering at Healing Hands Massage in Hamden, providing professional massage services tailored specifically for our clients, and Ruth and Wimpy's at 792 US Route 1 in Hancock. We're a lobster lover's dream. Win tickets to see Weezer June 30th on the Bangor waterfront.
25 words or less.
First name Urkel.
Oh, Steve. It's all fun and games.
Beauty Mark.
Mole.
Yes! That's the money, y'all!
5 days a week.
On Fox 22.
And the whole world is wondering, what's it going to take to stop this U.S. team?
Prepare faster. Slower.
Rougher.
Nicer, eh?
Play with passion.
With precision.
With style. Good luck with that.
Saturdays. Baseball's best are showing out.
Swing and a drive.
Fox Saturday Baseball all season long.
Welcome back in, everyone. Thank you for staying with us. We're going to start with some track. Over the weekend, several Maine track and field athletes hit the road for a few national events, and Maine showed up and showed out all over the country with a lot of our local athletes putting on a show at that national level. At the Nike Outdoor National Meet in Oregon, Bangor really put on a show. Their girls' 4x100 meter relay team are national champs. That squad consists of Samantha Erb, Sophia Chase, Madeline Ty, and Anna Connors. Their 4x200 meter squad also took second in their division, and they set a state record while doing so. That's Callie Tennant, Maddie Sear, Madeline Ty, and Evelyn Humbert. Connors finished 8th in the 400 meter dash, and then recent UMaine commit Julia Bassi finished 11th in the shot put. Moving on now, also at the Nike Outdoor Nationals, from Orono, Ruth White, the distance demon, finished 10th in the 3,200 or the 2-mile. In Philadelphia at the New Balance Outdoor Meet, Old Town's Corbin Flewelling finished 9th in the triple jump, and Skowhegan's Billy Albertson finished 6th place in the long jump. Congratulations to all of them. A great way to cap off some great careers. Let's move on to some baseball now. Tuesday is state championship day for all of our baseball and softball teams still alive here in Maine. And right here in Bangor, the Bangor Christian Patriots are looking for their first title since 2014. The Patriots defeated top-seeded Katahdin Cougars 12-1 for the Class D North Regional title last week, capping off an impressive year against Northern competition. The only blemish on their record comes to Searsport, a D-South team, in the final regular season game. Now the Patriots are trying to take down the defending Gold Glove champs from St. Dom's on Tuesday afternoon.
We know obviously they're a good team. State champs last year, so we just don't overthink it. Come and play our game. I think we'll be all right. So at the end of the day, I mean, it is another game, but it's also the state championship, so it's that in the back of your head. So we just got to come ready to play.
They're a great team. Reigning champs, defending champs. So it's going to take a lot, but we got to play our game like every other game. Hit them hard and just don't stop hitting them.
We tell ourselves just another game, but it's really important to us. We all want it really bad, so we're going to do our best and leave everything on the field. We're really excited. We got to play our game, just do what we do, and that's all we can control.
Bangor Christian baseball isn't new to this territory either, even though everybody on their roster is. The program won 3 straight championships, but that was from 2012 to 2014. And for the past 4+ years, these Patriot seniors have walked by those gold gloves in the trophy case, and it would mean the world to them to add one right next to it.
That would be amazing. It's a dream come true from a young age. You dream about playing at Mansfield State Championship. So, yeah, that would be great, as players and as a team and as a school. It just means so much. I mean, yeah, it's been a while, and I've always wanted to win a state championship. Never done that in any sport, so that'd be really cool.
It's been a long streak, losing in regionals and states and stuff like that. But it'd be cool if we can finally end it, get another streak going.
Wishing them luck. Let's stay with some baseball now. Maine baseball star second baseman and Elliott, Maine native Quinn McDaniel has received some well-deserved national attention. Over the weekend, Major League Baseball released their list of athletes invited to the 2023 MLB Draft Combine, with McDaniel being on that list of invites. So the potentially former Black Bear is currently at Chase Field in Arizona from Monday, today, the 19th, through the 24th. He is one of 323 invited to the Combine. McDaniel hit .354 this year with 16 homers, 45 runs batted in, and 32 stolen bases, helping Maine to their first NCAA regional berth since 2011. He was also an instrumental part to last year's regular season championship team. The MLB Draft is July 9th through the 11th, and we're wishing him the best in his pursuit of the pros. Staying with some baseball now, Red Sox in action on Monday night. They swept the Yankees over the weekend, looking to make it 4 straight. Picking this one up in the 5th, Sox up 3-0. Former Red Sox catcher Christian Vasquez at the dish with 2 men on, and, well, this game is now tied. He puts it into the bullpen. That's going to be his first homer of the year against his former team. Next inning, Sox load the bases. Alex Verdugo is up, and, man, was he due for one of these. Rips it down the line into right. That's going to go to the wall. All 3 runs come in. It clears the bases. Sox go up 6-3 with the triple. To the 7th now, Tristan Casas at the plate. He gets a changeup inside and barrels that one up nicely. That goes into the stands in right field and makes it an 8-3 ball game. And the Red Sox would surrender no more runs. They win their 4th straight ball game. Final score is 9-3. And that is all the time we have for sports. We'll be right back after the break.
Whether you know what you're looking for, or even if you don't, we'll help find the right style that's you. Experience the style at Jordan's.
The longest lasting brand.
Toyota is the longest-lasting brand. And at the Toyota Summer Value Event, recent and soon-to-be college grads could get a $500 rebate over and above most other offers. Toyota, let's go places.
Who has the best kept secret in Penobscot County?
We do!
Welcome to Maple Lane Farms, a fifth-generation family farm that's committed to providing you with the best quality products. Our farm-raised local and sustainable meat is flash frozen to lock in the freshness and natural flavors. Experience the top-notch quality of our meat that's naturally raised without any antibiotics or hormones. Get the best of both worlds, quality and affordability. Try Maple Lane Farms today, the candy store for the carnivore.
When the Davises booked their Verbo vacation home, they didn't know about this view. Or the 200-year-old tree in the backyard. Or their neighbors down the hill. But one thing they did know is exactly how much they'd pay. Because Verbo is different. You see the total price up front. Of course, it's good to leave room for some surprises.
Great things are always cooking at the Ground. New menu, new specials, with an amazing variety of choices for every taste. Good times, great service, and amazing food. Only at your locally owned Ground, Odland Road, Bangor. Ahoy there, boating enthusiasts. Get ready to elevate your boating experience with a Bennington Pontoon Boat Happy Hour at Hamlin's Marina in Hamden. Join us on Thursday, June 22nd from 4 to 6 p.m. for an exciting evening filled with boat demo rides on our most popular pontoon models. But that's not all. Snacks and beverages will be provided by Kimberly's at the marina. The Bennington Pontoon Boat Happy Hour, Thursday, June 22nd from 4 to 6 p.m. only at Hamlin's Marina in Hamden. We'll see you there.
Breathe new life into every room in your home with easy updates that fit your style. And now get up to 60 months no interest. Experience the choices at Jordan's.
Oh, it's huge. Grab the head right here.
Grab the head.
Joe McHale.
It's on me now.
Animal Control. A full hour. Thursday on Fox.
Welcome back. Maine could soon join 6 other states that legally allow the composting of human remains. This process is known as natural organic production and will be regulated by the Department of Health and Human Services. Representative Victoria Dodera, a Democrat from Camden, introduced the proposal to the Maine legislature.
Composting, and it's also called terramation, is a process by which there are specially designed facilities where the remains are put, and the remains are combined with organic material like sawdust, hay, things like that. It's heated to a temperature of, I'm just looking at 131 degrees, and it gently transforms the human remains into soil.
Once a body has gone through the process, family members can spread the material on their property or under a favorite tree where families made memories together.
A Hamden resident who came to America when he was a child decided now was a good time as any to revisit his birthplace in Norway. And as Jody Hersey tells us, his journey took him down memory lane while simultaneously connecting him with relatives he's never met.
It's weird how the brain works, because the more I hung around, the more I started remembering.
At 74 years old, Mort Syverson of Hamden decided to make the trek to Oslo, Norway, where he was born. It's a country he hasn't been to since his family immigrated to America in 1957. What really urged the Syversons to make the trip was when Mort's wife Marion was contacted over Facebook by one of Mort's Norwegian relatives researching the family tree.
He writes to me and he says, "Do you remember the little boy who came to stay with Tira in 1975? And I said, I sure do.
So last month, the Syversons packed their bags and boarded a plane.
I wanted to go see several things I remember. The apartment building that we lived in. Well, I wanted to go to what's called Frognerparken, the park where the statues are. These are statues that were carved out of granite by an artist way back in the 20s, 30s.
The couple spent 12 days in Norway, taking in the sights, connecting with several of Mort's cousins, using both Norwegian and English to communicate with one another, and celebrating that country's Independence Day.
After the Nazi occupation, when the war was done, they started celebrating Independence Day by having parades of school children. We went to the parade in Sandefjord and had somebody to cheer for, which you don't cheer. You don't start yelling hooray. You say hip hip hurrah.
The experience was so meaningful, the couple says, a return trip is already in the works. In Hamden, I'm Jody Hersey for ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
Northern Light pediatric cancer patients and their families have a fun week of outdoor activities ahead of them as Camp Hope makes a return.
You have no hair, or whether you have hair, whether you have a prosthetic leg or don't have a prosthetic leg. It's just for kids to be able to be who they are.
After 3 years, Camp Hope is returning to Camp Jordan in Ellsworth. Camp Hope provides Northern Light pediatric cancer patients and their families a chance to get out of the hospital and experience the outdoors with people who can relate to their experiences. It's all made possible thanks to on-site healthcare professionals to assist with patients' needs.
These kids who normally, have gone through such intense medical experiences and can't have a normal experience, this is a normal camp experience for them.
Northern Light and the Bangor Y have partnered for the last 9 years to make Camp Hope happen.
So, pediatric cancer is mercifully very rare, and so when you're going through that experience, it's incredibly isolating, and COVID made it even worse.
Due to health risks, they had to shut down the camp during the pandemic. But now, around 31 children will be back with their families this summer, and their entire week is paid for by donations to Northern Light.
Camp is expensive, and it's nice for families to be able to come and not have to worry about being able to pay for it.
Here at Camp Hope, kids find relatability in shared experiences through these outdoor activities.
Able to express how I feel through like arts and crafts or swimming, and sometimes you don't even have to talk about it, they just already know what you've kind of been through.
At Camp Hope, both the kids and the parents stay overnight, and the experience is just as important to the families as it is for the children.
It's hard to talk about some of your experiences with people that just don't understand, and here, all of us can.
So it's just like a place to get away from all our troubles and all our worries, so it's always just kind of been an escape from the real world for me and my family personally.
In Ellsworth, Grace Blanchard, ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
And just wonderful to see something like that be able to make a return,
Yeah.
and that it happens at all. I mean, obviously incredibly well deserved, but just so important for those families.
Yeah, I mean, those kinds of experiences are important for any family to be able to have. And so when you have other challenges that can get in the way sometimes and make it harder, it's just great to see programs like that allowing those families to get out and do those things without having to worry about everything else.
Probably summer camp, something that many of us would take for granted otherwise.
Absolutely.
Alrighty, folks. Well, that is going to do it for us from everyone here at Fox 22. Take care and have a great night.
Good night, everyone.